In this video, this is a big warning to all Bitcoin traders who are currently in a position. I'm going to show you three very interesting points in the Bitcoin chart that you need to be aware of. I also want to talk about the current DeFi hype we're seeing. Is DeFi the new ICO hype? And also, EU leaders strike a historic $2 trillion deal to rebuild Europe's economy. I want to talk about why I think that this is very bullish for the Bitcoin price. And if you think that that sounds interesting, then I think that you should definitely watch this video. Hello guys and welcome to the moon. My name is Carl and I'm going to bring you this Bitcoin video. Yesterday Bitcoin finally broke out of this falling wedge, and I'm going to take a look at what is going to happen right now. So this is on the 4-hourly time frame. Bitcoin has been in the falling wedge. Bitcoin broke out eventually after being very tight in this tightening range, and just like I predicted here, Bitcoin did get a breakout. And of course, this time it was to the upside. It could have broken to the downside, of course, but it was a 70% chance to break to the upside because it's a falling wedge. Now, just like I said yesterday, I do believe that the target should be all the way up here at approximately $10,000 or slightly lower. This line right now is at 9.9, but you can also just put this up here at 10,000. Essentially, there's a big zone up here between 10,000 down to 9.9. Where we have a lot of previous resistance from here and from here, as you can clearly see. And this would, of course, be a trade of approximately 8.5%, which is a big move for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, from the point of the breakout, is currently up 1.6%, and to the top of this, the previous high, 2.9%. And before I go over to the daily time frame and show you a very important thing that everyone needs to keep an eye on, that no one is watching, I first just want to take a look at your comments from yesterday's video. First, Collis Williams says, didn't you just say Bitcoin was going to drop by 50%? No, I did not say that. I made a video talking about the bearish scenario. And in that video, the only thing I'm saying is that if Bitcoin breaks this upward trending support line here, then Bitcoin is very likely to get a very big drop, and it could drop as much as 50%, but more likely something like 30%. So for Collis and everyone else who didn't watch that video, feel free to go and watch it. It's over on my channel, uploaded 3 days ago. And TLOU says, let's break 10.5k, then you can call it a breakout and not a $100 pump. Well, I disagree. I really believe that we saw a breakout. This is a breakout out of this white falling wedge. The definition of a breakout is just leaving a pattern. So we were in this pattern for an extended period of time, and eventually price left the pattern by breaking through the upper resistance. That is a breakout. Sure, it maybe isn't the biggest breakout we have seen before, but it is a breakout, and that's why I made the video yesterday, because this should technically indicate that Bitcoin is bullish in the short term here. Mr. Silva says, Carl, I am smelling a false breakup. The volume is still very low on the daily and 4-hour time frame. And you are correct. Just like I talked about yesterday, the volume is not overwhelming. It is actually quite low, which means that we should be cautious here. When volume is low, then we are not necessarily going to meet the target. The higher the volume, the likelier it is that we go up and meet the target. So low volume indicates that we should be cautious, because this could actually reverse back down again. And if we see that, then we need to take a look at the 9.1, 9.2k level here, because it's very important for the bulls that Bitcoin holds this upward trending support level. Ben Smith said, great call, Carl. I made 5 times profit. And Strups says, I took the trade, 18% gains. I took the profits because not high volume. Thank you, Strups, and all these 15 people liking this comment. I'm happy to see that you guys are making money off of my predictions. Thank you so much for watching my videos and being my subscribers. And then Alex says here, you are very funny. You keep saying you predicted. You always give both scenarios and saying you called it. Well, I'm not necessarily saying that I called that Bitcoin was going to break to the upside. What I said in my video was that Bitcoin is going to break out today, and it's likelier that Bitcoin breaks to the upside rather than the downside. And whether you think I was right or not doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that Bitcoin did actually break out of this tightening range, and everyone who traded the breakout was able to make money. If we broke to the downside, we could have made money also, because longing or shorting doesn't really matter for a trader. We can make money off of any volatility. All right, let's go over to the daily time frame. Let me bring out the daily moving averages, and if we zoom in a little bit here, and of course we can see that it is bullish that Bitcoin broke back above this pink line, which is the 20 daily moving average. Generally, when Bitcoin is above this level, Bitcoin is bullish. We can see how Bitcoin got supported by it right there, and got supported by it in this period of time here, got rejected by it right there, and got supported right here. Essentially, we can see how this level is very, very important historically. And now Bitcoin decisively broke above this level. That is a good sign and should technically be bullish for the short term. However, we need to also point out here that 3 times did Bitcoin break above this green line and then break down below it again. So let me just show you here. We can see right here, Bitcoin broke above the 50 daily, which is the green line, and then broke straight back down again. And after breaking down below it again, we did actually see a short-term bearish trend. The second time this happened was actually right here. Bitcoin broke above this green level, and then Bitcoin broke down below it again, and then we saw a short-term bear trend after the fact. Now we are seeing the exact same thing happening the third time, and we're currently below the green level once again, which is the 50 daily, and maybe this indicates yet another bear trend, at least down to the upwards trending support here, because that's what happened the 2 previous times. See, from this point where Bitcoin broke down below the 50 daily, Bitcoin came down and retested the upwards trending support and had a dump of 6.6%. Right here, we saw from that point, Bitcoin came down and retested the support with a dump of 3.5%. What if we're going to see the exact same thing now and maybe see a dump of approximately 1.9 or 2%? I think it's very possible, especially now with very low volume. We need to be cautious, but this is not something that is confirmed yet. So in my opinion, I am not going to do any kind of shorting here. I am not going to expect us to come down here. I just wanted to point out to you guys that I am seeing one small warning sign on the horizon for everyone who is in a long position in this exact moment. So put up your stop losses, make sure that you are in a profit, so whatever happens here, you made money. But guys, short-term volatility doesn't matter when you look at the long time frame. These are the Bitcoin yearly lows. Ever since 2012, we have seen a very, very clear trend of Bitcoin going up in value, and these are the yearly lows ever since 2012. In my opinion, this is much more interesting than looking at the highs of the year, because the lows show us the holders of last resort. This is the level where no one else wanted to sell. These are the people, the people defending these levels are the people that will never sell. I am part of these people. You are probably part of these people. We will hodl for the next 10 years, and it's going to be very, very hard for people to buy these Bitcoin from us. Next up, there's a big hype around DeFi right now, and the people are now expecting DeFi to hit $5 billion in 2020. And let me just take a look at DeFi pools here. This is the website where you can track the progress in DeFi. Back in February, there was 1.3 billion approximately locked up in DeFi, and then DeFi saw a big correction here in terms of value locked in, down to $500 million just. But now, in the past few months, we've seen a massive increase in value locked up in DeFi, and it is currently sitting at just above $3 billion. And the question is this the next big hype, just like ICOs were the big hype back in 2017, 2018? If so, then this means that there will be a huge amount of opportunities for making money in the DeFi space. Exactly how people made a lot of money from ICOs just a couple of years ago. Down here you have the biggest DeFi projects currently. We have Maker, Compound, Aave, Synthetics, and so on. Many DeFi projects are currently live, and I expect this trend to continue. And actually, I have been making some analysis on Aave in the past few days, because Aave was a very, very interesting trade. This is Aave. Here is the trade that we made. We took profits up here, and of course this coin continued to move up all the way up to these levels. Just like I showed you before, this is a parabolic curve, and the question is, when is the all-time high, or when is the blow-off top coming in? This could be the blow-off top. This is possible. We did see a huge reaction to the downside. What I'm watching right now in Aave is this potential descending triangle. If Aave breaks the support here, then this could indicate that Aave is going to get a correction, which is of course needed after seeing such a huge run-up. And let me just pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool and show you really quickly here where the golden pocket is. It's all the way down here, which would indicate a fall of approximately 55% from the highs. But if Aave breaks through the resistance here, then this could indicate that we're going to see yet another huge run-up here to continue this parabolic move. And next up, EU leaders strike historic $2 trillion deal to rebuild Europe's economy. We're seeing money printing like never before. So after almost 5 days of fraught discussions, European leaders have agreed to create a 750 billion euro recovery fund to rebuild EU economies ravaged by the coronavirus crisis. And guys, during these times of unprecedented historic money printing, I think that Bitcoin will very soon get a lot of attention as being a safe haven, something that cannot be printed. Bitcoin was literally made for what we are currently seeing. Bitcoin was literally created to be the antidote to the banking system and to the monetary printing of governments and banks. So in my opinion, we are going to see Bitcoin very soon test the $20,000 level. We are seeing the game plan completely setting up for this. And now that we are just a couple of months after the halving, and we've never been this oversold after halving before, I think that maybe this time, this period of time, is the best time in Bitcoin's history to accumulate. That's my opinion. That's what I am doing. I am accumulating as much as I can because I know that I will thank myself in a few years. Feel free to do whatever you want. I'm just sharing my opinions here. But this is it for this video. And if you haven't seen this one, then click right there, right now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.